Your phone buzzes. You look. Nothing important. You look again 5 minutes later anyway. You know this feeling. Everyone does. But the real answer is far stranger than willpower or addiction. It reaches back 3 million years into the hands of your ancestors searching a forest floor for food. Think about what you just did. You checked your phone for no reason. Nothing had changed. Something older than reason pulled your hand toward it. What is that something? Scientists call it a variable reward schedule. Decoded simply, a reward that arrives unpredictably, sometimes after one try, sometimes after 20. Your brain does not treat unpredictable rewards like predictable ones. It treats them as far more urgent, far more worth chasing. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner ran a simple experiment with pigeons. He placed them in a box with a lever. Press it and sometimes food appeared. Not every time. No fixed pattern. The pigeons did not lose interest. They became obsessed, pressing the lever far more than pigeons rewarded every single time. Predictable reward creates calm behavior. Unpredictable reward creates compulsive behavior. Skinner called this intermittent reinforcement, and it remains one of the most replicated findings in behavioral science. Your phone is not a pigeon lever, but your brain cannot tell the difference. Every notification, every refresh, every scroll is a lever press. Sometimes there is a message that matters. Sometimes there is nothing. You cannot predict which. That uncertainty is exactly what keeps your thumb moving. But why would evolution wire you to chase uncertain rewards instead of resting easy with certain ones? The answer is ancient. It is written into how your ancestors found food. Anthropologists who study hunter-gatherer societies describe a pattern called optimal foraging. Researcher Kristen Hawkes, who spent decades studying the Hadza people of Tanzania, documented how foragers decide where to search. A patch of land does not announce whether it holds food or nothing at all. Every search was a gamble. The ancestors wired to keep gambling, to check one more bush, one more trail, were the ones who found enough to survive. Starvation waited for the ones who gave up too early. Reward waited, unpredictably, for the ones who kept checking. That instinct did not vanish when agriculture arrived or when cities were built. It lived on quietly, waiting for something new to attach itself to. Your phone gave it exactly what it wanted. Neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky, who has spent his career studying dopamine, found something counterintuitive. Dopamine does not spike highest when a reward arrives. It spikes highest in the uncertain moment right before you find out whether you will get one. The waiting is the drug. The checking is the drug. The reward itself barely matters compared to the anticipation before it. This is why refreshing an empty inbox can feel almost as compelling as opening a good message. Your brain is not responding to the screen. It is responding to the uncertainty of the search itself. Picture your ancestor crouched at a forest clearing, scanning for movement. Now picture yourself at a stoplight, scanning a lock screen for movement. Different forests. Same brain. Here is where it gets stranger. This foraging instinct was never built to run constantly. In the wild, a search eventually ended. The patch was exhausted, and the body rested. The uncertainty had a boundary. Your phone removed the boundary. There is no bottom to the feed, no edge to the forest. The search that used to end after an afternoon now never closes, so the ancient wiring built for occasional gambles fires almost continuously. You are not weak for feeling pulled toward it every few minutes. You are running a Pleistocene survival circuit on a device that triggers it without pause. Does this mean you are simply a puppet of your evolutionary history? Not quite. Knowing the mechanism changes your relationship to it. When you understand that the pull is not about the message, not about the phone, but about an ancient search instinct being endlessly triggered, the urge becomes something you can observe instead of something that simply happens to you. You do not need to defeat 3 million years of survival wiring. You only need to give it back what it originally had. A boundary, a stopping point, a patch of forest that eventually runs out. Somewhere in you, a hunter is still crouched at the tree line scanning for movement, refusing to give up the search too soon. That hunter kept your ancestors alive. It was never designed for a forest with no edges. Your phone buzzes again. You look, and this time, you understand exactly why.